Yes, people, what's happening? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome to another live show. And there is plenty to dive into as always. Big up to every single one of you that is locked in already. Make sure you're smashing the likes. Make sure you subscribe if you're new round here. And as always, get involved in the chat. The latest news we've got today, guys, is that shouldn't come as a surprise, but Chelsea are planning on making no changes to their management structure, and they are happy with the current directors and are planning with them. No surprises to hear that. We're also going to dive into the latest with the links to Luis Campos and Chelsea, the PSG sporting director, top draw, one of the best in the world at what he does. We're going to be discussing those rumours, and they've been apparently shut down, but we're going to dig into that. And we're also going to dig into the latest surrounding the stadium situation as well, because there's been a little bit of an update on that in terms of a time frame and what all the possible options might be. But before we dive into everything, guys, make sure you check out Jersey's FC Soccer Shop. Link is pinned to the top of the chat, and it is also in the description. Use code BLUEBROTHER for 20% off and free shipping for your Chelsea kits. You can get names, numbers on the back, all of that good stuff. Link in the description. Link pinned to the top of the chat as well. You can get your hands on a shirt. This away kit that I've got here, great quality, looking good, guys. Make sure you check them out, people. Let's dive into it. Let's say hello to a few, and then we're going to get on the road, guys. We're going to get on the show on the road. Protests will continue, I think, until the ownership think it was a one-off. The protests have to continue. They have to. Like, if people are serious about change, you can't just do a one and done, because that doesn't achieve anything. Blue come out, fair enough. Look, bro, I agree with you. Doesn't mean that fans should just sit and do nothing. You know, fans should get their voices heard and voice their dissatisfaction through protest if they wish to do so. They're not happy with how things are going. But I agree. You know, they're not going to be selling anytime soon, in my opinion. Yes, big up, brother, big up. Yeah, bro, shocking news. Absolutely shocking news that Chelsea like their sporting directors and aren't planning any changes. Can you believe it? They are happy about what? Recruitment table? I'm not really, I don't know, but they're happy with the job that those directors are doing. We can't change the model at one point, and it's that they come calling for, and that's why they saying we can't sell. They can sell, it's just new owners will have to pay debt off. Bro, we were in debt under Roman as well. This is when people talk about debt, right? Regardless of who the debt's owed to, we were in debt under Roman, and people are, and this is where, like, a lot of people, for me, lose a bit of credibility, is when they start talking about debt. We were in debt under Roman. Yeah, we were in debt to him, and he decided, you know what, as a gesture of goodwill, when he was forced to sell the club, he wrote that debt off. But otherwise, we would have owed Roman £1.5 billion. Sure, yeah, he made us debt free at the end. Absolutely, he did, and he didn't have to do that. But what I'm saying is, we were in debt under Roman, whether it's in debt to banks from loans we've taken or whatever it might be. We were in debt. The reality is that if we were winning and if we were successful, no one is talking about debt. No fans are pretending to be financial experts. You know, when you're winning, the problems don't go away. The problems are still there. But when you're winning, fans take much less notice of issues. Fans aren't as bothered by the issues, because ultimately all fans are really concerned about is winning and winning trophies and success on the pitch. The reason why all this stuff is being highlighted now is because we're not doing very well. Now, can the club be run better? Absolutely. Is the club being run well? No, it's not. Is the recruitment good? No, it's not. Does the model need to be changed? Yes, it absolutely does. But that doesn't change the fact that people would be speaking very differently if we hadn't lost those 2 games against Brighton. Look, at this point in time, guys, I don't believe we'll get Champions League football. But the reality of the situation is we're 2 points behind third. We're 2 points behind third place. Which is not a bad position to be in. Given our run of form, we should comfortably be third in the table, but it is what it is. You know, there's nothing that we can change on that front. Nothing we can change about that now. But we're still in a good position to achieve Champions League football this season. Whether myself or other fans think we're going to do it, it's still very, very possible. So, look, you have to keep the pressure on. You know, you have to make sure this happens on a regular basis. I'm not saying every week, because you're not going to get it every week, and it loses the power If you do it too often, you've got to pick your times to do it. Nah, bro, there's literally could have been 10 in front of 6th if we won the games we should have done. Yeah, bro, this is it. And this is why people get so frustrated, is because we should be in a much more comfortable position than we currently find ourselves in. Brother, I have to respectfully disagree with you. The January window was terrible. Summer window wasn't good either. And the reality is, for the last 3 years, we needed a top goalkeeper, top centre-back, top striker. And for the last 4 or 5 windows, we haven't got them. So, bro, I respectfully, I completely disagree that it's been one bad window. They said, judge us after 4 transfer windows. We're now past the 5th, coming into the 6th in the summer. And after 4 transfer windows, the squad is nowhere near complete, and the squad is not ready to compete for top honours. So they have failed in their job. By the way, club not in big debt. Most money invested is used under their name, not the club, because they can't do that. Bro, look, I've got no idea. I'm not going to pretend I'm a financial expert. I'm staying in my lane on that one. We're no way buying experience is what this team needs. Look, I've got no idea. I've got absolutely no idea if that's the case or not. But it's very clear that Chelsea aren't looking to go down a route of recruiting experienced players. Bringing players in to do a job for 2-3 years. Nah, bro, it's not. This I'm sorry, but it's not a tough window. Yeah, it's a more difficult window than the summer, sure. But this is a weak, loserish mentality when people say, oh, it's a tough window. There's players there to be signed. We could have done stuff. City went and signed players. Villa went and signed players. There were players there that we could have gone out and signed that would have made a difference for us over the second half of the season. We chose to do nothing. We chose to actively make the squad weaker for the second half of the season, and we chose to sabotage our hopes of qualifying for the Champions League. That is the reality of the situation. It was a poor window. It was unacceptable. I'm not saying go and spend 50, 60, 70 million pounds on individual players in January. Bro, what do you mean they haven't improved? They signed Mamouche, signed Nico Gonzalez, signed Victor Reis, signed Kusanov. 4 players. City have improved their squad with 4 new additions. Aston Villa have improved their squad with the signings of Marlon, Asensio, Rashford. What are you talking about? They haven't improved. Bro, they've strengthened their squads. I'm not quite sure what you're on about. City are still ahead of us in the table. They've strengthened their squad and they've given themselves a better chance of finishing the season ahead of us because they made additions in January. Villa made additions in January. Yes, they obviously lost to Crystal Palace the other day, but they've given themselves a better chance of finishing higher up the table. They've strengthened their squads. You cannot tell me that Villa and City squads are not better than when they started the January window up with, because they are. The unfortunate response is we have bought experience, but they are not of quality. That's my problem. Yeah, sure. I hear you. I hear you. Look, Forest have signed loads and loads of players. Obviously, they've not spent anywhere near as much money as we have. They haven't spent anywhere near as much money as we have. But yeah, it's they've done a good job. I mean, look, it's a consortium. Yep, sure. I don't know if any other clubs are running that way. I don't tend to pay any notice to what other clubs are doing, particularly in the ways that they're run in detail. Yes, big up, bro. I was at the game the other day with my brother. Glad we got the win. Consistency, momentum key. Yeah, exactly. But again, you've got to pick your times when to do it, because if you keep doing it all the time, it kind of loses its purpose and it loses its meaning a little bit. You've got to pick your moments, and it's better to go big, sort of. It's better to go big, not as often, than go small, really regularly. In my opinion, you're gonna send a much stronger message by going big, slightly less often. But let's dive into this stuff then, because obviously there's been links with Luis Campos, and I'm not really sure where these links came from. I'm not really sure where these rumours started. There were rumours suggesting that Chelsea were in conversations with Luis Campos about a CEO of football role. Campos obviously currently an advisor to Paris Saint-Germain. Very, very good at his job. One of the best in the business, guys. He's discovered many players. He signed Bernardo Silva from Monaco. He discovered Victor Osimhen and Gabriel Magalhaes when they were at Lille. He brought those two players to Lille. So look, he's got a good track record. He is absolutely one of the best in the business. He's outstanding. The links are nonsense, not true. I don't know where they've come from. But a Luis Campos style person, a Luis Campos, a Luis Campos type figure with that reputation, that is exactly the caliber of people that Chelsea should be going for. But again, obviously that isn't going to happen. It's not going to happen. But let's see what this article is saying anyway. So there are no truth in the rumours linking Luis Campos with Chelsea. A report came out earlier in the week claiming Clearlake had made an approach for Campos, who currently works as an advisor for PSG, and that meetings took place over a possible switch to Stamford Bridge. However, Football London has been told that such speculation is wide of the mark, with no talks taking place at this moment in time. Campos made a name for himself during his days with Monaco, as sporting director, helping bringing in a number of talented players, including the likes of Falcao, James Rodriguez, Fabinho, Bernardo Silva, and many more. Chelsea, though, retain full faith in co-sporting directors Lawrence Stewart and Paul Winstanley, who are currently in charge of the club's transfer business. On the pitch, yeah, okay, we don't need all that. Yeah, so there we go. So no links, no truth in the links with Luis Campos. It is a concern that Chelsea retains so much faith in these guys. But then I guess you can understand why so much faith is being retained. It's because the directors, whether we like them or not, which a lot of Chelsea fans don't, are doing the exact job that they've been told to do by the ownership. They are doing the exact job they're being told to do by this current ownership, So yeah, Campos obviously not happening. I didn't when I saw these initial reports come out, I didn't believe them for 1 second. And obviously, yeah, it has subsequently been confirmed that there is no truth. There's no truth to this. Yeah, we do need winning football people in the building. Absolutely, we need winning football people in the building. Yeah, look, I agree. I agree that, they can say that they want to win. They can say that, they can say whatever they want to say, but ultimately their actions and the way that things have been going on recently are very different to their words right now. To be fair, I'm not afraid of the ops, because in spite January window, Villa's still not a threat. Newcastle still hit and miss, and Forest falling down and have to play big teams still. Bro, we've still got to play big teams as well. We've still got to play Liverpool at home. We've still got to go to Arsenal away, Newcastle away, Forest away. We've still got to play Tottenham at home, Man United at home, Liverpool at home. We've got Brentford away. Bro, we've got some tough games coming up, really tough games. And, it's not going to be easy. And it absolutely is by no stretch of the imagination a given. No stretch of the imagination a given. So yeah, look, bro, I'd love to share your confidence and your optimism, but the games that we've got, with the players that we've got out, with the form that we're in at the moment, I respectfully, I can't see us doing it. I would put it more down to, if we do somehow do it, it would be more down to other teams dropping the ball than us than us getting there by our own merit. But at the same time, I would take Champions League football whatever way it comes. Whatever way it comes, I'll take Champions League football. I would be absolutely delighted to take Champions League football. No problem at all. Bro, Campos is never joining anyway. Yeah, so Bowley will be speaking about Chelsea today at some sort of business summit or business meeting in London. He's due to be speaking at around 6 p.m. Tonight. Around 6 p.m. tonight, Bowley's supposed to be speaking at a business summit in London about Chelsea. I mean, we'll wait and see what he's got to say. We'll wait and see, obviously, what questions he gets asked, whether he addresses the vivid seat situation, whether he addresses the fan protest, whether he gets asked about either of those things. It will be interesting to see what he's got to say on the matter. Having a proper sporting director is vital. They put forward a strategy and appoint a coach to fit the strategy. Yeah, bro, I 100% agree. 100% agree that one of the most important positions in football is having a top-class sporting director. That is one of the most important, if not the most important things you can do, is you get a top-class director in place, because they then sign, on the whole, decent players. And then you get decent players, you appoint a manager to you know, that aligns with the vision, and away you go. No, all good, brother. All good, all good. Mate, there won't be any protests outside that building. There will not be any protests outside that building. You know, people need to understand like what battles to pick, and they need to understand when is the right time to send a message and when isn't. You know, you weaken your message if you keep doing it all the time. For me personally, they're aware now of how fans feel, and you go again when the time is right. Okay, maybe you go again, but in my opinion, you should go again before the end of the season at some point, and then you should obviously go again, obviously next season as well. Yeah, no, look, I absolutely get it. I absolutely get it. You know, the aim should be to get the sporting directors out, but we've seen that, you know, these guys aren't really prepared to budge on anything. They're not really prepared to shift on anything. So yeah, look, it needs to be aimed higher up, but ultimately, the main aim should be to get the model change and get the directors out. That's a more manageable and achievable aim, even though it's difficult. It's a more achievable than forcing these guys to sell up. That's the reality. What's your thoughts on Neto being number 9, and do you believe Tyreek George? Neto being number 9 is a good solution for now. It's a solution that works whilst players are out. Let's stick with it. Well, obviously, when the players come back, it's not something I envision being kept on moving forward. Yeah, Tyreek George absolutely deserves more chance. I felt he should have started against Southampton. I hope he starts against Copenhagen. Maybe he starts against Leicester. But absolutely, this guy should be getting further opportunities. No two ways about it. I'm jealous of Liverpool. They did the model perfectly, but keep their experienced players. Bro, we've got no idea what they're signing. And can I just say, by the way, everyone talks about Liverpool being a really well-run club, right? They've got arguably their three most important players in Van Dijk, Salah, and Trent, currently all leaving the club on a free at the end of the season. That's not well run. That isn't well run. Even if two end up staying, even if one ends up staying and two goes, or whatever it might be, it is not a well-run football club to allow your three best players to go into the final year of their contract. So whilst there is a lot of good at Liverpool, let's not paint them out to be some sort of perfect model, because if Chelsea had allowed their three best players, let's say Cole Palmer, Reece James, and let's say Enzo Fernandez or Caicedo, for example. Imagine if Chelsea had allowed Caicedo, Reece James, and Cole Palmer to all go into the final year of their contract and currently be able to leave on a free at the end of the season. That's unforgivable. But is it the directors that are identifying talent, or is it the scouts that are doing that? It's more down to the scouts. I mean, I don't exactly know what work the directors are doing, but for me, it's seemingly more down to the scouts at this point in time, more down to the scouts than the actual directors themselves. And another change we need is these Chelsea fans to hit the like button. Yes, guys, run the likes up. What are we on? 34 likes. Come on, people. That's poor. Make sure you're smashing that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you're new round here as well. I'd greatly appreciate it. But yeah, guys, run these likes up. What are we doing here? What are we doing here? You know, what are we doing here? Run the likes up, people. Run the likes up. Run the likes up. Yeah, he did. He absolutely did. And this is my point, you know. we all love Roman, but not everything was perfect. Not everything was perfect. Yeah, Rudiger was allowed to enter the final year of his contract, as was Christensen as well, as you say. So look, all clubs make mistakes and all clubs do that. But yeah, look, Liverpool are a well-run football club, but I have to point out that's not an ideal situation for them to be in. The fact that they've let their three most important players, their three best players, arguably all into the final 6 months of their contract is poor. Really poor. Really, really poor. So yeah, there we go. So poor. You can't be doing that. You can't be doing that. But yeah, that's where we are right now. If Salah leaves, they'll drop off massive. Yeah, look, there will be a drop off if Mo Salah leaves. Of course, there will be a drop off. But you know, Liverpool would have been planning for a number of years, I'd imagine, for Salah's departure. They would have been planning for a number of years. The owners of Chelsea will not change their model and can sell the club. Look, whether they can or can't sell the club is irrelevant. They're not going to sell the club at this point in time. That's the reality. Abramovich probably knew there was something cooking, so he didn't worry about new contracts. I've got no idea if that's true or not. Yeah, exactly. You know, Liverpool are aware that those players aren't going to all stay there forever. They know that. They are obviously aware of that. You know, for sure they're aware of that. For sure they are. But yeah, look, the Luis Campos links, there's no truth in those, which is hardly a surprise. I mean, that's far too good an appointment for Chelsea to make under this current ownership. Far too good an appointment for us to make. So to expect anything else is a little bit deluded, I have to say. Slightly delusional, if we are being real here. Slightly delusional, if we're being real here. So there we go. But yeah, let's move away from the structure, from the hierarchy, and let's talk about the stadium, because there has been some news about the stadium, guys. In terms of just a little bit of an update, a little bit of a summary. So, again, guys, let me know your thoughts in the chat as well about the stadium, whether you'd want a rebuild of Stamford Bridge, a stand-by-stand development, or you want to move to a new site. The Chelsea Pitch Owners Board met Chelsea club officials last month at the annual general meeting and offered some insight into the stadium situation. The options are a complete rebuild of Stamford Bridge, a stand-by-stand development, or move to a new site entirely, with Earls Court regularly rumoured. CPO Chairman Chris Isip said in his statement at the AGM, whichever outcome is eventually proposed, the timeline for the redevelopment project will stretch well into the future. We understand that no decision has yet been made and that a decision is not imminent. However, we continue to ensure that the company and its shareholders have a voice and play a full part in the next steps. I'd like to remind shareholders that under the Articles of Association of the company, CPO was created to ensure that football continues to be played at Stamford Bridge by a team called Chelsea FC. Now, for me personally, again, I wouldn't be keen on a stand-by-stand redevelopment. I'd rule that out straight away, in my opinion. The two options for me are either a complete rebuild of Stamford Bridge, or you move to a new site. However, for me, if it's a new site, it needs to be Earls Court. Any other new site, I'm not too keen on. I can't think of another new site that would be anywhere near sort of Stamford Bridge, or anywhere near the current location. I think we're looking at, 5-10 years minimum until we get anywhere near a new stadium. But Yeah, look, Earls Court is the most obvious solution because you play at Stamford Bridge whilst the stadium's being built, and then you move out of Stamford Bridge, you go to Earls Court, and then maybe you can have Stamford Bridge as the home, the new home for the women's team. Obviously, with popularity for the women's game growing, it would be great to then have Stamford Bridge used as the women's home team stadium, and then you obviously can keep that you can keep football being played there by a team called Chelsea as the agreement with the CPO states. A complete rebuild of Stamford Bridge means we'd have to go and play somewhere else in the intermittent period. I'm not keen for Chelsea to be going and playing at Wembley or any bullshit like that. I really wouldn't be keen on that. I also wouldn't be particularly keen on going to really not particularly keen on going to a Craven Cottage or anything like that. Or anywhere else. I mean, Twickenham has been spoken about in the past. So, but again, I don't think any sport's been played there other than rugby. So I'd find that very difficult to envisage anything else taking place on that front in regards to football at Twickenham. So you're looking at maybe a Craven Cottage. You're looking at maybe a Wembley. You're looking at those sorts of things. And for me, that's not great. That really isn't great because a complete rebuild of Stamford Bridge will take a number of years. I don't want to be playing at Wembley with no atmosphere for 2-3 years. I don't want to be ground sharing at somewhere like Craven Cottage or anything like that. So these are big decisions in regards to the stadium that need to be made. These are big, big decisions that need to be made. I'm not entirely sure what the best outcome is. I think personally, I'd say the best outcome is you move to Earls Court and then you stay playing at Stamford Bridge whilst that stadium's being built. Stand by stand redevelopment. I think Liverpool have done that. It's not ideal. You obviously have a lesser capacity, meaning less tickets available for fans to go to the games whilst it's being built. Yeah, I would be for Earls Court. I think it's the best solution all round because the match day experience doesn't change for fans. You're still traveling. You're traveling to the same area, and that match day experience doesn't change. That match day experience does not change. So for me, that is the best solution. I think that is the best solution. I think. I've got absolutely no idea. But look, at the end of the day, the game's evolving, and we have to accept that our stadium is not up to scratch. Look at, I mean, I know Old Trafford is falling down, but obviously there's a massive redevelopment plan there. But you look at Old Trafford, look at Tottenham, look at Arsenal, look at City, look at Anfield, Everton into a new stadium. You know, there's like 6 stadiums that I've just reeled off there that are all considerably better than Chelsea's. Our stadium is not up to scratch with what it should be in terms of a massive football club. Now, we all love it. It's unique. It's got loads of history. It's iconic. It's great going there. I love going to Stamford Bridge. But at the end of the day, we have to also realise, guys, that we are missing out on significant match day revenue by having this stadium. And we are getting left behind a little bit by having this stadium. Now, a new stadium needs to happen, whether it's a complete rebuild of Stamford Bridge or whether it's a new site entirely. These are conversations that do need to happen, guys. These are conversations that do need to happen. And it's something that will happen, but it's something that's not going to happen for quite a while. Something that won't happen for quite a while. Yeah, look, Earls Court is absolutely. Earls Court, absolutely. Yeah, if they rebuild it, bro, do you like? I really don't fancy going to play at Wembley for 3-4 years or however long it takes to rebuild that stadium. I do not fancy going to play at Wembley. Everton had a perfect scenario. Goodison Park, they're playing there. There's a new site not far away. They build it whilst they play at Goodison Park. Same thing with Earls Court. For me, Earls Court is the ideal scenario. Of course, you know, a rebuild of Stamford Bridge is great. But at the end of the day, guys, we don't want to be playing our football somewhere else while Stamford Bridge is being rebuilt. You ideally want to have a new stadium built, and you can continue to play at Stamford Bridge until that stadium's built. That's what we should be looking for, guys. That is what we should be looking for. And guys, we should also be looking for more likes. We've got 82 in the building. We're only on 41 likes. Guys, smash the like button. Let's get this well up over 50 likes. Would greatly appreciate that, people. So make sure you're smashing that like button. Make sure you should subscribe. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you're new around here as well, people. What do you mean we've already done stand by stand? What a long time ago. We definitely haven't done any recent development on any stands. There's definitely not been any recent development on any stand at all. There's been no recent development on that front. So we wait and see, guys. We wait and see. But what do you mean we've recent? Well, definitely not recently. Bro, they've set aside separate money for the stadium. This money's not all coming from the same pot. That like, as part of the takeover, there was a commitment to invest to redevelop the stadium or a new stadium. Legit in what sense? Legit in terms of, does the stuff turn up, or what are we? What do you mean by legit? It turns up. It's here. I've got it. This has been sent to me. I wouldn't be doing something if stuff didn't turn up or if it was dodgy or anything like that. Yeah, bro, it's here. It's here. I've got this. It turns up. They've sent these to me. It turns up. So yeah, it definitely turns up. So yeah, nothing to worry about on that front. Maybe 4 or 5 days, maybe a week tops. Not that long. Not that long. It was pretty quick, to be fair. But yeah, those are the options for the stadium. And you know what? Yeah, look, we did make some money from loans. Yeah, sure we did. We got some loan fees in. That's why January window was great, guys, because we got loan fees. That's what we're all about these days. The loan fees. Absolutely wonderful news. We got some loan fees. Fantastic. That's what we live for these days. We live for the loan fees, guys. We live for them. But yeah, I'm not boycotting all Chelsea official matches. I'm definitely picking stuff up with your link. That's for sure. Yeah, fair enough, bro. Fair enough. Yeah, make sure, guys, you check the size guide on the website as well. To make sure you obviously get the right size and all that business. Yes, run the likes up, people. Run the likes up. Run the likes up. Any Chelsea fan that wants to compete in the future, just pipe and support any stadium ideas that increase the person. Otherwise, yeah, look, I'm for. I've got no problem leaving. Yeah, there's a website. Any Chelsea fan that wants to compete in the future should just pipe down and support any stadium ideas. Yeah, look, we need to increase the capacity. Absolutely, no denying it. The capacity needs to be increased, and whether that's new site, whether that's stand by stand, or whether that's a complete rebuild, I support all ideas. But my preference would be Earl's Court. My preference would be Earl's Court, and I think it's preference for some people. Some people want to stay at Stamford Bridge. That would obviously wouldn't be dreadful as well. The only thing that puts me off that is that is the fact of having to go and play somewhere else temporarily. I don't know how good that's going to be. Yeah, that for me personally is not really going to suit us particularly well. bro, we can't leave it as it is. It's not. Football's evolving. You know, if you can get a more modernised Stamford Bridge, great. It needs to be modernised. The capacity needs to be increased. It has to be. You know, we're falling well behind the times with this stadium. Anfield's great, but Anfield is significantly bigger than Stamford Bridge. Significantly bigger. You know, we just about get 40k at Stamford Bridge. It's nowhere near enough for a big football club in this day and age. It's nowhere near big enough, guys. Nowhere near. We need much more. We do need much more. That's the reality of the situation, people. We need much more. So look, I understand your bro. There's always tourists at every game. It doesn't matter how big the stadium is. It doesn't matter what stadium you're in, wherever you are in the world. Football is a tourist attraction these days. You are never going to eliminate that. And so it's a waste of time moaning about it because it's never going to be eliminated. There's always going to be tourists at games. Capacity is almost, it's over 20,000 bigger than Stamford Bridge, which is a significant difference. How would it be refurbished without destroying the soul, in your opinion? What would that require? What would that require? It needs to be modernized, no doubt. But what would it require, though? I'd be interested to hear. What would it require? I'd be interested to know. I think 80k is a good number. I mean, there's not many stadiums that are 80k. I don't think there's any in the Premier League that are 80k. I mean, Wembley's 90,000. So let's wait and see, guys. Let's wait and see on that front. Yeah, look, if you can get around, I think 70 is pretty good. I mean, how big's Everton's new stadium? That must be at least 50. Must be at least 50,000 Everton's new stadium, I would have thought. I don't know for certain, but I would have thought that would be the case, guys. I would have thought that would be the case. But yeah, whatever happens with the stadium, the reality of the situation is, people, is that we need to update our stadium big time. We need to update it big time. Absolutely no denying it. So look, this is going to be a long thing. We're not going to get any sort of answers to this anytime soon. So yeah. We'll wait and see. But it's going to be an interesting one. It's going to be interesting to see what happens and when any decisions come. But I don't expect any decisions anytime soon on that front. Think it's 54k. Yeah, again, that's 14. I'm sorry, but I know Everton are a big football club, but respectfully, as Chelsea, you can't have Everton having 15,000 seats more than you in your stadium. That can't happen. That can't happen. Absolutely can't happen. Change is constant, guys. We need to move to a bigger stadium so more fans can access the match day experience. Yeah, exactly. And this is it as well. Like, think about how many people can't go to Chelsea because of the capacity of the stadium and whatnot. You have to evolve with the times. You have to evolve with the times. And that's the reality here, people. You have to evolve with the times. Currently we haven't evolved with the times. There will be some plan at some point to evolve with the times, and we have to wait and see. We have to wait and see how that pans out. We have to wait and see how that pans out. We have to wait and see how it pans out, guys. I'm not sure how it's going to pan out, but we will have to wait and see how it does. But look, it's an important thing for sure. It's absolutely a vital thing, and it's a really big decision to make, and a really big thing get right. It's a huge thing for us to get right, and we have to hope that we do get it right. And look, whatever decision is taken, by the way, there's going to be sections of the fan base that aren't happy with it, and you're never gonna please everyone. You're never gonna please everyone. Bro, there was a Taylor Swift concert at Anfield. Like it is what it is. It is what it is. There was a Taylor Swift concert at Anfield, so I mean that point doesn't really run. But look, these days, nowadays, they like modern stadiums are multi-purpose. There's been killers concerts at the Emirates. This is the reality. No, I don't believe it has. I don't believe it has. I don't believe it has. I don't believe that to be the case. But you're never going to please when it comes to things like stadiums, even when it comes to transfers and managerial decisions and all that sort of things. You're never ever going to be able to please everyone at the end of the day. There's always going to be people that are disappointed. There's always going to be people that disagree with decisions that have been taken. There's always going to be disagreement with decisions that have been taken. You're not going to please everyone. But yeah, most of the time, I'm sure there's occasions where customers and fans have got things massively wrong. But look, whatever happens, it's going to be very difficult. I mean, it's going to be very difficult to please everyone. So it's not really it's a lose-lose situation really from a decision making point of view. But look, my preference would be Earl's Court. But ultimately, I'm happy to stay at Stamford Bridge as well. But I think it's for me. I would prefer Earl's Court. But look, if we stay at Stamford Bridge, I've got absolutely no problem with it. But my only thing is, I prefer a stand-by-stand at Stamford Bridge, just because I don't want to be going to play at Wembley or Craven Cottage or Twickenham or whatever for a few years. But that's just my opinion on it. Other people might think that's okay. Other people might view that in a different light, and so be it. But that is my. I just wanted to see what it's about, really. Yeah, exactly. Yes. Big up, bro. Big up. So look, we're a while away from getting any decision on that, but that was just a little bit of a chat about the stadium. And we move from there. We move from there, guys. We move from there. In terms of, guys, any questions in the chat, let me know as well, by the way. Interested to hear your thoughts on a whole range of topics, so please do let me know. Please do let me know on that front, people. It would be great to hear what you lot have got to say. Please keep smashing the like button as well, guys. We're on 52 likes. Let's get this up as close to 100 likes as we possibly can, guys. Let's get this up to 100 likes as quickly as possible. Smash that like button. Keep subscribing to the channel as well, people. It's free. It takes seconds to do so, and it does really help me. I never ask for any money, just a click of 2 buttons, and it does more for myself and the channel than you could ever imagine. So yeah, that would be absolutely fantastic, guys. It would be absolutely fantastic. So please do that. Please do that. I would appreciate. The issue is we're not allowed to block St. Philips's view or what's St. Philip's? St. Philips's view or extend the stands outwards due to people's houses. It's possible to extend the stands up without blocking the view. Obviously, we bought that Stoll site behind. We bought the Stoll site behind. So I mean, I don't know if that maybe makes a bit of a difference on that front. I'm not entirely sure. But it'd certainly be interesting. Certainly be interesting. as to what that does. I don't think so. I don't think St Paul's Cathedral is anywhere near Stamford Bridge. You can't see St Paul's from Stamford Bridge. No chance. Oh, it's Cathedral and Earl's Court. If we extend outwards and too much upwards, it blocks the view. I see. I absolutely no idea about that. If you're saying that's what it is, then that's what it is. But yeah, I mean, yeah, I had no idea that was the case. No idea that was the case. So yeah, there we are. Yeah, people, if you can, make sure you do. I think you just buy them from Chelsea Picture Owner's website, I believe. So yeah, make sure if you are able to do that, guys, go and buy a share in a CPO. It is a really important thing. It's unique. I don't think any other clubs have something like that. So yeah, guys, make sure if you can that you do go and do that. It is really, really important, guys. Can't stress that enough. It is really, really important to do so. Really important to do so, guys. I might be mixing up the church and the cathedral. One of them has their view from the top protected. That's why the move is complicated. Someone on YouTube has probably explained it better than me. I mean, it's the first I've heard of it. I'll have a look and see if there's any sort of information on it. I don't know what information there is currently on it, but I'll have a look. But yeah, no, I certainly hadn't heard of that. Let's talk transfers briefly for a little bit, because that's what we do best, isn't it, guys? That's what we do best. There's always a few bits of transfer news with Chelsea. Always a few bits of transfer news. Let's have a quick look. So a bit of news on Liam Delap from Fabrizio Romano yesterday. Let's just bring that up now. No, I think it still is. I think it probably still is. If Chelsea offer enough money, it's there. It's there for the taking. If Chelsea offer enough money, for sure. I don't know if it's a fully off the table, but in reports, it's still being said that it's an option. But anyway, yesterday, rising Liam Delap to Chelsea could be a possibility, concrete possibility. He's not the only name, but Enzo Maresca keeps bringing up his name internally. And Chelsea actually made some contact in January to find out conditions. Sure. I mean, look, I don't dislike Liam Delap. My issue of this is that Liam Delap is not a I wouldn't say he's a level raiser. He comes in and he makes a difference, absolutely, because it gives us another option as a centre forward, and it gives us a different profile to what we've currently got. Fine, no issue with that. And I do like Liam Delap. But the signing of Liam Delap is not going to take Chelsea to the next level. Well, certainly not in the next 2 or 3 years, it won't. It's another project player. It's another young player. It's another player who's only got 1 season of Premier League experience, 1 season of top flight experience. And it represents a gamble. Maresca, obviously, clearly a big fan, knows him from Man City. He scored 20-plus goals when City won the PL2 title, the same team that had Romeo Lavia and Cole Palmer in it. I like Liam Delap. He ticks a lot of boxes, absolutely. And, for a roughly £40 million reported fee, that ticks boxes for us. It ticks boxes for us, guys. But at the same time, I sort of feel this is not elevating us. It's not elevating us. We need a top draw striker. If it was Liam Delap plus someone else, that's cool. I'd be all right with that. I'd be all right with Liam Delap plus one other, because I think that's that wouldn't be bad. If you could get Liam Delap and Gyökeres, and you had Delap, Gyökeres, and Jackson, as three centre forwards. I think you need three centre forwards to compete on four fronts. I really think you do, to cope with injuries, to cope with the amount of fixtures, rotation. I think you need three centre forwards. Jackson, Delap, Gyökeres would be fantastic. Now, I'm fully aware that that is very unlikely to happen. Very unlikely to happen. So Delap, yeah, I suspect this is probably going to happen. But we will. Look, he suits Chelsea in terms of he's a type of profile that we need in the squad. In terms of getting back to winning ways and competing for major trophies, I don't believe this is a signing that does that, or it's certainly not a signing that does that straight away. Sure, we can, but it's highly unlikely we do. Bro, Portuguese league is not Conference League level. It's not Conference League level. Let's be real. Bro, are you all right? Are you all right? I never said Osimhen was too old. So if you're going to come here and speak not and like sort of have a go at me, don't chat shit. Don't chat shit. The lap is a gamble. It is a gamble. That's facts. It is a gamble. I didn't refuse Osimhen for being too old. I never once said that. So if you're going to come on here and say shit, at least get it right. It needs to be Delap and one other. Delap and one other. Look, if it's just Delap, yeah, it's peak. It's not the one. It's not the one if it's just Delap. It really isn't. Liam Delap will happily take 100k. Or even well less than 100k. Well less. Yeah, sure. I would have taken Mateta as well. But Mateta was the type of sign that we should have made in January. Mateta was absolutely the type of sign that we should have made in January. Absolutely, we should have made that signing in January. So let's wait and see on that front. No, yeah, bro. I don't think so on that one. I think you're a little bit wide of the mark there. I have to say, a little bit wide of the mark on that one, just a touch wide of the mark on that one. But yeah, Osimhen, Gyökeres, Sesko, all gambles. No, but Gyökeres is going to be more of a guarantee than a Sesko, for example, I would say. But no, you are right. There's no guarantee that anyone comes in and hits the ground running straight away. There's no guarantee that happens at all. Absolutely no guarantee that happens at all. But yeah, you know, we have to try something. We need someone that's going to come in and elevate us. And look, I'd welcome a Delap signing, but he's got 10 goals this season or 11 goals or whatever it is in the Premier League. And that's not a bad return in one of the worst sides in the division. Side that probably doesn't create a lot of chances, where he probably doesn't see an awful lot of the ball. And there's a lot of things to like about him. But my concerns would be is that he's got very limited experience in the top flight, and that he's obviously 22 years of age. And it's a massive, massive step up to go from Ipswich to Chelsea. It's a huge step up. A huge, huge step up there. So it's going to be interesting. It is going to be an interesting one. I'm not quite sure what the best scenario is on that front. I'm not quite sure what the best scenario would be, to be perfectly honest. If we got Gyökeres well at Coventry, yeah, no, he could bang. He could bang. But all I'm saying is that I'm not sure it's exactly what we're looking for. You know, in terms of taking us from like here to here. Maybe it takes us from here to here, a slight improvement, but it's not that top level that, you know, you would be looking for in a striker. It's not that top level, guys. But again, it's true. The striker market is not great. I don't believe we go for Osimhen. Like, even if we look at Gyökeres, I still think there are clubs that he would prefer to go to ahead of us, and we can absolutely forget any sort of deal for Gyökeres if we don't have any Champions League football to offer. This is the reality of the situation, guys. We have to get Champions League minimum to have any chance whatsoever of being able to persuade Gyökeres to come to the football club. Yeah, we need goal scoring. We need to sign someone for the left hand side as well. That there's still a significant amount of holes in the squad that need filling. There really are. If Maresca is to keep his job, my preference would be a profile like Osimhen. Yeah, look, Osimhen is not going to happen, but look, Delap is good in the box as well. He's good aerially also. Delap does tick those boxes in terms of a profile. Yeah, look, they'd be okay buys, brother, but this is what we need more than okay. Is the point? We need more than okay. We absolutely need more than okay. Fair enough. Look, where he ends up, I don't know where he's going to end up. He definitely won't be at Ipswich next season, but yeah, I suspect that he will be turning out. If I had to take a guess where he's going to play next season, I would suspect that he will end up at I suspect he'll end up at Chelsea. He'll be playing in a blue shirt next season. That is my thoughts on it. Big difference playing up front for Ipswich. Yeah, no, absolutely. No, this is the whole point that I've been making. I'm not convinced right now that he's the man to take us to the level that we're looking to get to. But I guess only time would tell. Yeah, look, you need players that will create. I think we have got players that will create, but we haven't got enough of them. Yeah, but he always says that. He's always looking to, take that to the next point, to the next level. Like, he's always looking for that next one, isn't he? He's always looking for that next one. Yeah, I mean, look, Mateta this January would have been great. I mean, even last January, Seru Guirassy, he had a £17.5 million release clause in his contract. That would have been perfect for us. That really would have been perfect for us. And, we decided against it. Those are the sorts of signings that can make a difference. And those are the sort of signings that should be being made, guys. They really are. But obviously, yeah, we had other ideas. Yeah, he did, But again, Jimenez was never really someone that was on the Chelsea radar. He was never really someone that was on that Chelsea radar. And yeah, it's a disappointment. It's absolutely a disappointment. No doubt about it, guys. It is a disappointment for sure. But hey, there we go. Yeah, I mean, bro, I hear you on that one. I absolutely hear you on that one. Delap as a plan B off the bench if we need to go long, and I think he's much better than Jackson aerially. Yeah. Look, I agree. It offers you different options, and that's what we need at the end of the day. Osimhen's ship is gone, bro, but you're not signing him. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and that's absolutely a fair point on that front. Absolutely a fair point. Nunes actually is a good footballer. It just hasn't really worked out. He does cause problems. There are a lot of issues when he's on the pitch, and he does cause issues for the defense. But ultimately, yeah, he hasn't really done enough. And I suspect that if Liverpool can, they will sell him in the summer. They will sell him in the summer if they can, depending on what sort of offers. Depending on what sort of offers come in for him, they will 100% look to sell him in the summer. Look, he's too erratic. Yeah, he does. He is too erratic. But then he's someone that you want on the pitch because he is actually capable of making stuff happen. He is capable of making things happen as well, guys. Capable of making things happen. So we wait and see on that front. He's much better than Timo Werner. I have to be honest, he's much better than Timo Werner. But yeah, guys, I'm going to round this one out now. I've got to jump on over to Chelsea Fan TV. So come and join over there, guys. I'm going to be joined by Kev, and we can continue this conversation and discuss other bits and pieces. So I'm heading over to Chelsea Fan TV now, guys. I'm going to be live with Kev in a second. So make sure you come and join us. Please smash the likes on the way out, people. Let's get this up to 70 likes if we can. We're 7 likes away. So smash that like button. Subscribe if you're new around here as well. Love for tuning in, and catch you lot over on Chelsea Fan TV. Up the Chelsea, and we're out. Peace.